day today, Bob?
Sorry, I was busy looking for ships. I've been hearing breaks on the radio, and the VHF only works out to about 25 or 30 miles. So we figure there might be a ship out there somewhere. Who knows? We even revved up our AIS system yesterday. Had a check, but we couldn't see anything. Excuse me. All chesty cough.
Whatever.
It was quite cold during the night, but right at the moment I've got a t-shirt on. I've got a t-shirt on because I'm well hard. I'm tough. Got a t-shirt on because it's actually sunny at the moment. It may be the last of the sunshine that we get. Having said that, big black cloud just came over the top of us. Maybe the last of the sunshine we get. We have a deteriorating forecast. The weather was blowing quite steadily last night when we got into our night watch routine. But all of a sudden there was a wind shift, and as the wind shifted, so the head sail backed, which brought us scurrying up. A big dump of rain at the same time. Gusty, squally, clearly a front moving across, and behind that front the wind veered around, and it did exactly what the forecasters said. It went all the way from the southwest round to the northwest, and it probably only took about 10 minutes to do that, maybe even less. And it was very blustery, it was gusting, the rain shooting down, and so she was shearing around all over the place, and at one stage the mainsail actually accidentally jibed, and that's pretty dangerous. We have a very strong preventer on, so we were able to recover it, albeit under engine power. So sort of a dynamic 20 minutes, 20 minutes extended to about an hour and a half, because we then had to get the pole down, we had to get so we had the head sail poled out, and we had to get the head sail back across the other side of the yacht, and then we had to tack the yacht. So it was yeah, it was an interesting and dynamic little period of time there in the darkness as well. So great fun, kind of great fun. So then that prompted us to listen into to call in for a weather forecast. 4 days since we had one, seems about right. So once you get to day 5 and beyond, it's all a bit of guesswork. So they're predicting that the winds will stay in the north, but they'll come around and begin to head us probably tomorrow, and they'll increase, so 20 knots plus 25 knots maybe. And then as they comes back round to the northwest, there's a big low pressure system ahead of us building over Spain and Portugal, which is going to migrate and push out a low pressure system which is already over the UK. So one low pressure system being pushed out by another will keep the winds in the northwest in this part of the ocean. And as that does that, the winds are likely to increase to 30 knots and stronger. So it will actually get up to a gale, be pretty, I'm sure, pretty rough. They say that the seas will begin to build. They're not given to overstatement, so I suspect that the seas will get up to 20 foot or something like that, and it'll all get a little bit interesting. In recognition of that, we spent the last hour and a half prepping our storm jib, which we've never had to deploy in anger, and we've never really practiced using it. So we just ran it up the inner stay there, up the staysail, up the inner stay where the staysail would go. And it's actually a storm staysail rather than a storm jib. Bright orange, nice. So we ran it up there, figured out where the sheet leads will go, and these blue sheets that you can see here are actually the sheets that we will use if we have to deploy that in anger. Of course, if we have to deploy it in anger, we'll have come all the way down to heaving to, etc, etc, and our sail plan will be down to virtually nothing anyhow. So we have it all nicely hanged on there, it's in its bag, it's ready. All we have to do is attach the foot, the sheets which are deployed forward to the clew, and then the halyard to the head of the sail, and then we'll be ready to hoist it up. But at that stage we'll be thinking of beginning to run with the weather, so the weather will have to be pretty darn bad for us to get to that position. I suspect if this gets really rough, we'll probably just heave to, and that will probably see us through. It'll allow the bad weather to blow over the top of us, and then basically surf down after it. So that's where we are. What else has been going on? Well, what can you say? Apart from the birds not coming close enough for me to photograph with my ready camera. Arrgh. Damn birds. It's been about the food. When I sail alone, I live on pot noodles, cold tins of baked beans or sausage and baked beans, and cookies and snacks, and really not much else, but a chocolate maybe. I really don't bother cooking. Brew up hot drinks and use them in pot noodles, but I very rarely bother to cook anything up. Maybe a bit of corned beef hash or something. But wifey is insisting that I eat well, and I have to say very well. We had about a dozen or more meals frozen down, and we have a cool box that's working as a freezer, and that is working very well. Curries and chilies. Last night we had a delicious cottage pie, very nice, with some defrosted mincemeat, backed up with wonderful gluten-free muffins, which are absolutely delicious, with a little bit of fresh butter melted on them and a little sprinkle of honey, and they got orange rind in them. Actually very nice. Fresh orange peel in them, orange rind, very nice indeed. And yesterday I managed to get through the last of the I guess they're ramen noodles or something like that, egg noodles. It's our gluten-free equivalent of a pot noodle. Very nice indeed. And we still have plenty of snacks left, which is actually very good news as far as I'm concerned. Mars bars, Snicker bars, all that good old stuff.
Oh yeah, they're all yours though, aren't they?
Oh, they're all mine. But we do have gluten-free stuff for Nikki as well. Nikki has celiac disease and is highly allergic to wheat and gluten. So we do have a bunch of other stuff that she can have, gluten-free crisps or chips, and we got some very nice little gluten-free. What are they? They're kind of mousse things, aren't they? You know, long life mousse desserts.
They're soy.
Soy desserts, yeah. So they're very nice. So
I haven't tried one yet. I don't know if they're very nice.
Oh, she hasn't tried one. I have.
No, they're not gluten free.
I've had my ones, which are not gluten free. So they are. It's all about the weather, and it's about the food, and it's about missing the shot with the goddamn birdies. It really peeves me. But contingency planning as well. Very important. Muy importante. Very important. So here we are. We have 2 reefs in the main. We could take down 1 more reef because we have 3 reefs in our main. You either have the full main, 1 reef, 2 reefs, or 3 reefs in the main. So there are 4 sets on it. And we have the Genoa, or the Yankee as we have, the furling Yankee, furled up to about half of its size. It's just luffing a bit in the background there, so we'll probably do something about that in a moment. And we're bowling along, I guess, at a steady 4.5 knots, exactly and directly towards our destination, which pleases us immensely. We have 820 nautical miles still to run. 820. So there you go. We're quite happy. About to have another delicious meal, an early meal, because we know the wind's going to increase a little. And we shall probably make do on snacks for the rest of the afternoon and evening. Anything to add?
How many miles did we do last night?
105 over the last 23 and a half hours. 105 nautical miles. Very proud of ourselves. That's right on our planning average. A little bit better than our planning average.
Because we did lose the wind at one point. We
did lose the wind at one point. It became very fluky. It's just like the guys said. You know, they said it'd get very fluky and blah 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 blah. And during the night, that's exactly what it did. So we were down to about 1.1 knots at one stage. Still the correct direction, which is great. So there you have it. That's life on the good ship Koru from Tutukaka, New Zealand. Bob and Nikki signing off on today's vlog. Join us again tomorrow for a Life on the Ocean Wave. Thanks very much. See ya.